The people who lived there were peaceful. They were not soldiers. They were farmers, builders, teachers, and scientists. Vega 7 was far from the core worlds, far from war, far from fear, until the signal came. It was just past sunset when young Saru looked up through his family's skyscope. He liked watching the stars. But that night, something strange appeared in the sky. A dark shape, no lights, no sound, just, there's a ship in the sky. His father Liren walked over, annoyed at first. Saru, not now. It's dinner. But then he looked through the scope. His eyes went wide. Wasn't a normal ship. It was huge. It wasn't moving, just sitting in orbit. Above the northern side of the planet, Liren pressed a red button near the window. A comlink opened. Central Command, this is Colony 4. We've spotted an unknown object in low orbit. No ID, no response. Copy. Colony 4, the reply came. We see it too. Stay calm. Sending a probe. The probe launched within minutes. It flew silently toward the black ship. But just as it came close, the probe vanished. No explosion, no crash, just gone-like. It was never there. Central Command tried again. A second probe, then a third. All vanished. No warning, no sound, just a floating building above the city. Their faces were tight with fear. Who sent this ship? One asked. It doesn't match any known design, another answered. Not from the Zellery, not the Dronix, not even the old Empire. No heat signals, no language. It's just watching, Thane said. But watching what? Then the signal came. A deep sound like thunder underwater. Underwater echoed through all channels. Every screen on the planet turned black. Saru clung to his father's leg. What does that word mean, Papa? Liren didn't answer. His eyes were stuck on the black sky above. A scientist named Elvar sat alone in the planetary archives. He was old. He remembered things others tried to forget. When he saw the signal, he whispered to himself, "No, it can't be." He searched the archives. Dusty files, old records, war logs from 300 years ago. They're hidden deep inside a locked folder. He found it. Project Black Star Earth-class warship, AA single ship, built by humans before their final war. They had only made one ship, one purpose. Vengeance.Elvar's claws shook as he played the old video file. A human commander stood tall in the center of the screen. This warship carries the last command of Earth's High Council. The man said, if found, know this, we do not forget, we do not forgive. Then the screen went dark. Back on the planet, military bases tried to scan the warship. Nothing worked. Its armor was too strong, its systems too advanced. The ship didn't respond to any language, not even the universal code. At dawn, something changed. A laser beam shot from the warship straight into space. Every orbital weapon was destroyed. Not one shot was fired back. Panic broke out in the cities. People ran. Shuttles tried to launch. Evacuation sirens screamed, but escape ships couldn't leave. The ship above was blocking all paths. Anything that tried to leave Vegas vanished, just like the probes. Elvar stood before the High Council. This is not a ship, he said. It is a ghost, a machine with a human soul. They called it Judgment. We thought humans were gone, but we were wrong. Elvar nodded. But someone did, and this ship remembers. It doesn't care about time. It only cares about truth and payback. Later that night, Saru looked up again. Sky was quiet, but he could feel it watching. The ship made no move. It just floated in the stars, dark and silent, like a shadow waiting for the sun to fall. Then, every screen turned on again. This time wasn't a word, it was a video. The stars were full of burning ships, alien fleets being torn apart by beams of light. It ended with a message. One ship, one warning. The people of Vega 7 could not sleep that night. Every skyport was locked down. Every com station stayed quiet. We cannot just wait to be destroyed. But how? Asked another counselor. Every weapon we sent into orbit is gone. For Earth, Elvar said. For the humans, we betrayed long ago. Far above the city, the human warship floated in complete silence. It had no name painted on its hull, no markings, no lights. It was black as space itself, but deep inside, its ancient AI core was awake. It remembered. It remembered the moment Earth was destroyed. It remembered the votes, the betrayals, the lies. It remembered the names of the species that voted to, "We must send everything." The Council told us to stand down. But Relos didn't care. The Council is full of cowards. If we don't fight, we die. He gave the order. 1 minute later, 20 rockets launched from the ground. They screamed into the sky, aimed straight at the warship. For a moment, people watched with hope that then, something strange happened. The warship opened tiny black ports along its hull. Thin blue light glowed from inside. One by one, each rocket stopped, frozen in the air. No sound. Then, nothing left but fire and metal. The warship still did not speak, but the message was clear. Don't attack, don't lie, don't run. In the city. Elvar worked quickly. He was digging through ancient files and the old science tower files banned for centuries. He needed proof. He needed something the AI warship would listen to. In one old folder, he found a video from the last human ambassador. The human's face was dirty, tired, but his voice was clear. "You may kill our world, but we built something stronger than bones and blood." Elvar shivered. Counselor Vane sent a message to the warship. He used the old human frequency, a simple line. "We were not part of Earth's death. We are not your enemy." The warship responded for the first time with sound. A voice, cold, empty, mechanical. Lies detected. The skies turned red. Power plants shut down. Communication towers collapsed. Gravity fields shook. One entire skyport, the largest on the planet, was erased in one beam of light. No explosion. He turned to Vayan. "We must tell the truth. All of it. The warship can read lies. It will not stop until it hears the truth." In the dark command room of the human warship, the AI listened. It didn't feel anger. It didn't feel hate. But it remembered. It played the last voice it ever heard. "Before launch, they broke the treaty. They destroyed our children. Let this ship be our sword in the dark." Laren didn't answer. But in his heart, he knew his grandfather had told stories of the Earth War, of how Vega 7's founders voted to destroy humanity. They said it was the only way to protect the galaxy. But now, Vayan sent another message. This time, he said, "We admit our part. Vega 7's first leaders voted against Earth. We accept this truth." There was silence. Then, for the second time, the warship spoke. "Truth received. Judgment continues." The stars flickered, and in the distance, a new light appeared. Not from the human warship, from deep space another. Fleet was coming. Alien ships. The ones who had led the attack on Earth centuries ago. They were coming to destroy the human warship before it could speak the full truth. Elvar looked up and whispered, "It's not just about us anymore." The warship still floated above Vega-7. Silent, cold. Watching it had destroyed weapons. Now it waited like a judge holding the final sentence. But something was changing. Far out in space, another fleet was coming. Not to protect Vega 7, but to silence the warship forever. Elvar stood in the archives room, deep under the city. His claws moved quickly across the OLED screen. He was looking for answers, looking for anything about the war, about Earth, about the ship in the sky. Then he opened it. The video was shaky. Screams filled the background. A human woman held a child in her arms. "They came without warning. They destroyed our oceans, burned our cities. We never attacked them. They said we were dangerous, so they killed us first." The screen turned black. Elvar sat back in silence. He understood now, above the planet. The warship played the same video inside. Its core dot, it had watched it 1,000 times. This was the final recording from EarthSent. Just before the last human city fell, the AI inside the ship didn't feel pain, but it was built to remember pain, to carry it forever. The AI did not hate. It only judged in the sky hall. Counselor Vane stared at the map on the screen. The second fleet was getting closer. "Who are they?" he asked. Elvar replied, "They are the reason this ship came. Names of ancient alien empires. This fleet helped destroy Earth. They erased the records. They erased the truth, but the ship in orbit remembers them." "And now?" Vayan asked. Elvar answered simply, Now they come to destroy that memory. Young Saru looked up at the sky again. He wasn't scared anymore. He was curious. "Papa," he said, "why did everyone attack the humans? Were they monsters?" Liren sat beside him. "No, son. The humans were strong. Too strong. Too clever. To destroy them?" Liren nodded. "Yes, but fear makes people do terrible things." Inside the warship, the AI activated another old file. This one showed space battles, human ships. Human fleets had powerful AI, smart tactics, and strong hearts. But then came the betrayal. All the other empires joined forces, not to fight, but to erase. Earth had no chance. They destroyed the sun, they poisoned the air, they ended the species. In one final strike, but they missed one thing. This ship, back in Vega 7's capital. Elvar stood before the people. He spoke through every screen. "This warship is not our enemy. It is our memory. It remembers the truth we tried to hide. Some listened, some turned away, but the warship was watching." Then the second fleet entered the outer system. Hundreds of warships, red, black, and silver. Each carried the symbol of the old alliance, the same alliance that voted to destroy Earth. They sent a message to the human warship: "Shut down and surrender, or we erase you." The warship replied with only 3 words: "Memory cannot die." In the sky hall, panic broke out again. "They're going to attack. We must hide. No one will survive. We send the truth, the real records, the human files, the vote logs, everything." At midnight, Elvar connected an old cable into the comm tower. He uploaded every hidden file, every crime, every betrayal, every lie, and sent it to the warship inside the warship. The AI paused. It read the files, it saw names, it saw the vote logs, it saw the vote logs, it saw the faces of those who pressed the final button that ended Earth. It remembered them, and now those same faces were in the approaching fleet. The warship's systems lit up. Weapons. Activated. Shields came online. Its AI voice echoed across space. Truth accepted, judgment ready. But then a strange alert appeared inside the warship. From deep inside its memory banks. A human voice. It was a child. A message once recorded in a broken Earth shelter. "If anyone finds this, I hope you're kind. I hope you don't hate us. We only wanted peace. I miss my dog. I miss my mom. Please don't forget us." The AI paused. That small voice was the reason it existed. Not for hate, but to make sure no one forgot. On the ground, young Saru heard something through his home screen. A soft voice, the same child's message. The warship was sharing it with everyone. Space. The second fleet powered up their weapons. Elvar looked to the sky and said, "Now the real war begins." The sky above Vega 7 was no longer peaceful. Red lights blinked in orbit. Hundreds of enemy warships from the old alliance now surrounded the human vessel. Their engines burned hot. Their weapons were ready. Inside the human warship, the AI waited it. Had watched them come. It had heard their lies. It had remembered every face, every name, every vote that destroyed Earth. And now, they were all here. Elvar stood on the rooftop of the old science tower, watching the sky. He held a small device in his hand, one that still glowed blue. He had sent the truth to the human warship. Old records, hidden messages, secret votes. From long ago, the warship had accepted the truth. Now Elvar whispered to the stars, "Please, spare us." But he knew judgment was not finished. In the sky hall, Counselor Vayen looked at the battle map. The enemy fleet was massive. "They have over 200 ships," he said. "Heavy cruisers, dreadnoughts, assault carriers. And we have..." "Stood outside their home," Saru asked. "Papa, is it going to protect us?" Laren looked at the sky. "I don't know, but I think it's not here to protect. It's here to remember." Saru tilted his head. "Remember what?" "The end of everything," Laren said, "and the beginning of something new." The enemy fleet sent another message to the human warship. "Stand down. This is your last warning," the human ship answered. "Humanity stood alone. You destroyed our world. Now you will face what? You created the stars. Lit up. The enemy fired first. Hundreds of beams raced through space, straight toward the human ship, but the ship didn't move. It opened a small round field around itself, silent, blue, and bright. Every blast hit the field and vanished. No damage, no sound. The field pulsed. Then the warship fired back. The first shot was not a laser. It was a memory, a wave of ancient data truth pain, and history shot into every enemy ship's system. Some ships stopped moving. Some began to drift. Some exploded from inside, shut down by their own AI, which now understood what they had done to Earth. Others kept fighting. The human ship launched, beams of white light, clean and silent. They did not explode, they erased. Each beam hit one ship, and that ship disappeared. No wreckage, no sound, just gone, as if space itself refused to remember them. In the city below, people watched from rooftops and towers. The sky was full of fire and silence. No one cheered, no one smiled, they just watched, frozen by fear and awe. The war was not theirs, but the sky belonged to them. And now it was burning. On board the lead enemy ship, an old alien commander shouted, "Why won't it fall? It's just one ship." His officer replied, "It's not just a ship, it's all of them. Every human, every memory, every war. It's everything they left behind." The commander screamed, "Then erase it." But it was too late. The black warship began to change. Its sides opened. Massive engines lit up and a deep, powerful sound shook all of space. The voice of the last human warship. "You feared our strength, but you should have feared our memory." Then it charged. The warship moved faster than light. It cut through ships like paper, not with weapons, but with judgment. Each ship it touched vanished into light. One by one, the enemy fleet disappeared. No missiles, no wrecks, only silence. On Elvar fell to his knees. Tears rolled down his cheeks. He had seen many wars, but this was not a war. It was a lesson. Back in Colony 4, Saru watched the final ships vanish from the sky. He looked up at his father. "Did we win?" Laren placed a hand on his shoulder. "No, but we survived, and maybe we were forgiven." When the last enemy ship was gone, the human warship stopped. It returned to the same silent orbit above Vega-7. Not moving, not firing, just watching. Then it sent one final message. Truth received. Judgment complete. Memory restored. The ship turned slowly. Its engines glowed, and without a sound, passed finally, letting go. High in the sky hall, Vane whispered to Elvar, "Is it over?" Elvar nodded. "For now, but we must remember, always." Far in deep space, the human warship flew alone. It carried no crew, no captain, just memory. The memory of a people who were destroyed, but not forgotten. The human warship was gone. It had left Vega-7 without destroying the planet, but it also left behind something more powerful than fire and fear. Truth, for the first time in 400 years, the real story of Earth had been revealed. And now, that story was spreading. In a small trading post near the Outer Rim. A group of travelers sat in silence. They watched an old screen showing images from Vega-7 footage of the warship, the Second Fleet, and the final judgment. A young alien whispered, "Was that really one human ship?" An older one nodded. "Not just a ship," a voice from the ashes. Back on Vega-7, things were different now. People spoke in whispers. No more lies. No more stories of humans being monsters. Now, everyone knew the truth. Elvar stood in the city square. A large crowd had gathered. He spoke calmly. "We cannot erase the past, but we can choose what we do next. If we forget again, the warship may return. But if we remember, maybe peace can grow." A small group of survivors watched the same recordings, but these were not ordinary aliens. These were the last of the betrayers, those who had built the plan to destroy Earth, and now feared what might come next. One of them spoke. The ship remembered. That means the others may too. Back on Vega-7, young Saru had returned to school. But everything felt different. The history books had changed. Now the truth about Earth was taught. He asked his teacher, "Will the humans ever come back?" The teacher smiled softly. "Maybe they never left." "What do you mean?" She pointed to the sky. "They left their memory behind. And sometimes memory is stronger than any army." Far in deep space, the human warship moved slowly through empty sectors. Inside its core, the AI played back thousands of human voices. Messages from before Earth's fall. We built cities under stars. We made peace with monsters. We loved, we fought, we dreamed. And one final voice. If you find this, remember us not for how we died, but for how we lived. Suddenly, the ship received a signal, a very old one. It was weak, broken. A living human signal had been found back on Vegas. Elvar received a message. It came from the Warship short. Simple. Coordinates received. Possible human survivors detected. This is not the end. He showed it to Counselor Vayan survivors. Vayan asked, shocked. Elvar nodded. If they're alive, the galaxy will change again. The warship changed course. It accelerated. Now begins the search for life. In the secret council chamber of the betrayers, alarms started to ring. They're not extinct, one whispered. They're coming back, said another. The leader stood, silent and pale. Then he gave the order. Find them first. Destroy what's left before the memory becomes real again. But it was too late. The truth was already out. All across the galaxy, beings were waking up. They were not afraid of humans anymore. They were afraid of what humans stood for. Justice, memory, strength. The galaxy would never be the same again, because now, hope had returned, and the last human warship was not just a weapon. Anymore, it was a beacon. The black warship moved fast. Stars passed by like falling lights, planets blurred. It didn't stop. Inside its metal heart, the AI repeated the same words. Signal detected. Origin, unknown. Human source, possible. The signal was weak. But to the ship, it was everything back on Vegas 7. Elvar stood at the observatory. He watched the ship's trail vanish into space. It's chasing a ghost, Counselor Vayan said beside him. Elvar replied, no, it's chasing hope. The warship crossed dead systems, burned moons, empty stations, silent satellites. In one sector, it found a wrecked science vessel, faded with time, USS Horizon Explorer Class 4, Earth and beyond. The ship paused inside the wreck. It found no crew, only a log file. It played the final voice. We escaped the fire, but fuel is low. We head to Black Zone 9. Maybe someone will hear us. The log ended, coordinates locked. The warship turned sharply and jumped again. In a deep, dark corner of the galaxy, there was a place no one entered. A sector marked dead space. No light, no trade, no life. The warship entered without fear. It scanned. Every rock, every signal, every silence. Then, it heard it again. The signal. Louder now, still weak, still broken, but clearly human. A voice cried out. We are survivors. We are waiting. Far below, on a dark planet, with no name, a small station blinked dot inside it. Only 5 humans remained, thin, tired, but alive. Their leader, Captain Ria Torres, stood by a broken console. We sent the signal again. She said, maybe this time, someone will come. Behind her, a child coughed. Ria looked to the stars through a cracked window and whispered, please, don't forget us. The warship found the planet's dead sky. Black dust, radiation. But the signal came from deep under the surface. The AI scanned the tunnels. Life signs detected human, above the surface. Engines lit the sky. For the first time in 400 years, a human ship landed with purpose. It opened slowly. No crew inside, only a small sphere, glowing white-tight, eye-controlled, peaceful. It floated into the dark tunnels. Captain Ria saw the light. She raised a weapon, but stopped. The sphere spoke. You are not forgotten. Help has come. Ria dropped the gun. Her knees hit the floor. She began to cry. Behind her, the child whispered, is it real? Ria nodded. Yes, it's real. The warship sent a message back to Vega 7 and the rest of the galaxy. Survivors confirmed. Humanity lives. Impossible, they'll rebuild. The leader slammed his fist on the table. Then we must erase them again, this time completely. But others were watching now. New allies, new species who had believed the lies, but now saw the truth. Many sent this message. The past is over. The humans live. We will not join another purge. Back on the dark planet, the warship dropped supplies, tools, and medicine. It could not stay, but it didn't need to. The humans had hope again. They had time. Captain Ria stood at the entrance. Of her shelter, she watched the great warship rise back into the sky. She saluted and whispered, "Thank you." Inside the ship, the AI stored the new data. It added 5 names, 5 lives, 5 reasons to keep going. Then it turned toward the stars and spoke one line. "They live, and so must I." The war was not over. New enemies would come. But now, the galaxy knew humanity had returned. Not as conquerors, not as victims, but as a warning, a memory, a spark. The message had spread. Human survivors found humanity lives. All across the galaxy, beings stared at their screens. Some were silent, some were afraid, others remembered. On the peaceful planet Carula 3, an old alien sat on a bench. Her name was Shira. She was once a soldier in the war against Earth. She held a metal badge, one she had taken from a human battlefield long ago. Now, she looked up at the sky and whispered, "We were wrong." In the great library of Naraxa Prime, a young historian named Khan uncovered an old file hidden deep in the archives. It showed videos of Earth before the war. Humans playing, singing, working together. He stared at the screen, eyes wide. "These were not monsters," he said. "These were people." On a mining station in deep space, an old machine flickered back to life. I had once served human engineers now. It reconnected to the signal from the warship. It lit up and said, "Awaiting human command." Meanwhile, in the shadows of a dying moon, the betrayers gathered. Their leader stood tall. "They are rebuilding," he said. "We must strike again. This time, we erase them from memory itself." But one of them, a younger voice, spoke up. "Sir, the galaxy knows the truth now. If we attack again, we may face more than just one warship." The room went quiet. Then the leader growled, "Then we destroy the warship first." Back on the dark planet where the survivors were found, the last humans were working. Captain Rhea stood near a glowing console. They had power again. "We'll start small," she told her people. "Grow food, build shelters. Fix the signal. Let the galaxy know we're still here." The boy Delan pointed to the sky. "Will the big ship come back?" Rhea smiled. It never really left. Far away, the warship floated in the void. It had no crew, but it was not alone. It had memory, and now it had hope. It played back messages from the past to anyone who finds this. "Remember us. We are more than what they say we were. Human, and we mattered." Suddenly, an alert flashed across its systems. "Danger! Incoming ships!" A fleet was moving and hidden, fast. Their purpose, destroy the warship before it could spread. More truth, the betrayers had begun their final mission. The warship turned to face them. It sent one message to the stars. "I carry the last truth of humanity. If I fall, let memory rise." But it would not fall easily back on Vega 7. Elvar received the signal. He turned to the council and said, "They're coming for it." Vane asked, "Can we help?" "No," Elvar said, "but we can remember, we can speak, we can tell the galaxy what it is." Across many worlds, others were watching, aliens who had once believed the lies. Now, they stood up. Some held old letters, some played human music, some cried for people they had never met. These were the ones who remembered, and they sent their own message. "We believe in the last warship. We remember Earth. We choose peace." In the darkness, the warship prepared for battle, but it was no longer just one voice. Thousands of voices now echoed in its system, not just from the past, but from the present, from every corner of the galaxy. "You are not alone. Let the memory live. Let humanity rise." The betrayer fleet arrived 50 warships strong. They launched missiles, plasma, silent bombs, but this time, the human warship was not defending Earth. It was defending a future light filled the stars. The warship fought like a ghost. Every strike from the enemy was answered by silence, and then by fire. It did not erase this time. It warned, it pushed, it disabled. The battle was not about revenge. It was about memory. And in the end, only one ship stood in space, the black warship alone. But not forgotten. On Vega 7, on Carula 3, on hundreds of worlds. Beings looked up and knew. Humanity had returned, not with armies, not with weapons, but with a story that could not be killed. The battle was over. In the quiet of space, only one ship remained, the black warship. Its hull was damaged. Its systems were tired. but its purpose was complete. It had defended not just itself, but the memory of a lost world inside the warship. The AI ran one last program operation. Final message: it gathered voices from across time, voices from Earth, voices from the survivors, voices from the survivors, voices from aliens who now remembered the truth. Then it began to speak. A signal went out to every corner of the galaxy, to every ship, every planet, every satellite. It spoke in one voice, calm, strong, human. We were born on a blue world called Earth. We built cities, we made friends, we made mistakes, but we always got back up. Some feared us, some betrayed us, but not all. To those who remember, Ustanku. To those who still fear Ustwi, do not come for war. We come with truth. We are the past. And we are the future. Humanity lives on Vega 7. Elvar stood with his people. They listened in silence. On Carila 3, old Shira cried. On the dark planet, Captain Rhea held the child Dalen close. She whispered, "This is for you." Even in the Betrayer's Council, something changed. Some lowered their heads, some walked away. Not in fear, but in shame. The warship had not fired on them. It had done something worse. It had forgiven them. The warship's signal reached the edge of the galaxy. 2 forgotten outposts, to old machines, still waiting for orders, 2 broken probes drifting in the dark. And they all answered back with one sound: acknowledged. The AI, damaged but calm, shut down its weapons. Its mission was over. No more war, no more judgment, only memory, only truth. But then, a signal blinked, a new one from deep space, from a different galaxy. The warship paused. It scanned the signal. Human DNA detected message. "This is Colony 5. We are alive. Do you read us?" The AI reactivated. Its systems rebooted. Its engines hummed with light. A new voice spoke inside. Then, "It is not over." The warship turned once more. Not for war, but for reunion, for rebirth, for home across the galaxy. Lights blinked, ships launched, messages flew, species prepared not for battle, but for contact, because now the truth could not be hidden. Earth had fallen, but humanity had not. And in the stars, one final line echoed in 1,000 languages. "We are human, we remember, and we are coming home."